Hello there. The mini-me Napoleon Macron has taken on the Australians. As per usual, please like, subscribe and comment below. And when subscribing, please do press that little bell, but also select the all option, or you won't get any notifications when I publish a new video. Now, just before I start, here's a little snippet for you. As of today, it was expected that the extra Brexit powers given to traffic officers in Kent to control HGV traffic would be removed. But last Thursday the rules were changed so that these powers will remain in force for the moment with no end date. This is obviously in response to Macron's France kicking off over fishing by threatening to muck about with our trade, with the potential for HGV tailbacks in Kent, etc. But it's not just the UK looking on in bemusement as that mini Napoleon throws his bloated ego about, because it transpires that the French President Emmanuel Macron has taken a bit of time out from trying to bash the UK and diverted himself to taking chunks out of the Oz Prime Minister Scott Morrison. When asked whether he thought the Australian Prime Minister had lied to him about the AUKUS deal and cancelling the order Australia had with France for the delivery of 12 conventional submarines, Macron replied, "I don't think, I know," therefore levelling a charge of lying at the Australian Prime Minister. Macron really is trying to stir up French nationalist feeling in the run-up to the presidential elections next year. I wonder who else is in his sights. But the Australian Deputy Prime Minister, Barnaby Joyce, who is acting for Morrison while Morrison attends the G20 and COP26, retorted by telling the French to keep their hair on about all of this. Putting it into perspective, Joyce told the press, "We didn't steal an island, we didn't deface the Eiffel Tower, it was a contract." Ah, but what your country did do, Mr. Joyce, is puncture the all-important Macron pride, an unforgivable sin. Anyway, Joyce went on to explain, contracts have terms and conditions, and one of those terms and conditions and propositions is that you might get out of the contract. But you are, of course, dealing with France, which is an EU member state, and as far as they are concerned, all contracts with them are to be interpreted in their favour at all times, and third countries are merely inferior. But Joyce did say he did understand how the French might be feeling, but that he was certain that with time, like all things, we can get over this and move on. While a colleague of Morrison and Joyce, Senator Matt Canavan, told ABC TV, "We have not cheated on a lover here or somehow requested a divorce. We have changed a business arrangement and done so in the best interest of our country." Now, I was going to put a throwaway comment in here about an Aussie running off with Mrs. Macron or something, but I do try to keep things grounded in reality. Now, when talking to the Australian press yesterday, Macron said, "I have a lot of respect for your country. I have a lot of respect and a lot of friendship for your people. I just say when we have respect, you have to be true and you have to behave in line and consistently with this value." What? Like threatening UK trade, UK fishing activities and UK electricity supplies just because we chose to leave your club? As well as ganging up with Dublin to try and wrest Northern Ireland out of the UK? Those sorts of values and that level of respect. I see. Now, every day that I wake up, I expect to see the end of Macron's silliness, but every day he just turns out to be the gift that just keeps giving. For his part, Scott Morrison later told the media that he had not lied to Macron. He said that he'd already explained to the French president that conventional submarines would no longer cut the military mustard where Australia is concerned. Now, the Australian Foreign Minister, Marise Payne, had an hour-long meeting with their French ambassador, Jean-Pierre Thébault, to try and mend the rifts. But the French ambassador was the one who said back in September when this all kicked off, "We thought we were mates, and we were stabbed in the back." And remember, France also lost a deal to supply the Swiss with fighter jets just before the AUKUS deal was announced. Things aren't going well for Macron at the moment. And now he faces the prospect of the UK taking legal action against his country over his recent actions and threats. According to the BBC, Liz Truss, the UK Foreign Secretary, told Radio 4 that fishing licences had been awarded to French boats entirely in accordance with the post-Brexit deal between the EU and UK. She warned that unless France withdrew its threats, the UK was prepared to use the dispute resolution mechanism in the trade deal we signed with the EU to take action against the French. "We're simply not going to roll over in the face of these threats," she added. Truss also talked to Sky News, saying that the French have behaved unfairly and that if they don't back down, the UK will take legal action against them. And even the Labour Business Secretary Ed Miliband said that he didn't like the way the French had behaved. Now, I didn't expect that one. But we have heard in the last few hours that the UK has licensed another 100 EU fishing boats in the last few days. And the timing is unfortunate, as it means that Macron will be seen to have won this spat. And it will be put forward by the French president as French force over UK post-Brexit weakness when France says jump, etc. No, he will not be winding down his rhetoric. He has an election to win, despite these licences having probably been in the pipeline for quite some time. Now, in a change of tack, whatever happened to those free ports Boris was championing? But before I get onto that, I just want to say a massive thank you to all my Super Thanks, Patreon and PayPal supporters, as well as those that do buy a mug with my mug on it. Links in the descriptions box below. You really do help me keep this channel going. So now to a quick update on the free ports. Well, if you hadn't heard, 3 have now been named and set up. They are Humber, Teesside and Thames, which according to newly released secondary legislation will come into operation on the 19th of November. Free ports are special economic zones where normal tax and customs rules do not apply. According to the Institute of Export, they will benefit from a range of tax breaks and incentives, including national insurance contribution relief, capital allowances for buildings and machinery, and relief on stamp duty and rates. Between the 3 of them, they will generate some 46,000 jobs and billions for the economy. The government has issued a series of maps that show the boundaries of the areas concerned that are designated and recognised in law as geographical areas where businesses can benefit from tax reliefs to bring investment, trade and jobs to regenerate regions across the country that need it most. This is one of the Brexit bonuses put forward by Brexiteers many moons ago, so seeing them come to fruition is excellent news, as it is a move that puts a bit more clear blue water between the UK and the EU. So what's your opinion on this continuing spat between Macron and Australia? Please like and comment below.